Beyond the million lights of Manhattan stands Ellis Island, which between the years 1892 and 1954 served as the gateway to America, receiving millions of people eager to build a new life. The Move Borders magazine. Hi, my name is Emma Hicks, and I'm here to tell you about the history of Ellis Island. Some of us know Ellis Island as the place where people were welcomed into the U.S., but others remember it before and after the immigration station. Now, for those of you who are wondering what an immigration station is, well, it's a station where immigrants go in order to be welcomed into the U.S. legally. So I'm here to tell you about the history of Ellis Island before, during, and after the immigration station. Let's get started with the history of Ellis Island before the immigration station. Where exactly is Ellis Island located? Well, Ellis Island is a tiny island located in the New York Harbor in between the Statue of Liberty and the New Jersey coast. This island was originally 3.3 acres big, but it grew to 27.5 acres big. Now you're probably thinking, how does an island grow? Well, when they were constructing the New York subway, all the excess waste was dumped onto Ellis Island, making it increase in size. Crazy, I know. Ellis Island was originally bought by a merchant named Samuel Ellis in the 1770s. This island was known for several things, including oyster bays, shad runs, and pirates. Oyster bays are places where oysters wash up on the beach in order to grow in size. Shads are a type of fish, and shad runs are places where the fish like to be around the island. And pirates were known for meeting here to plan their next meeting. Now, Ellis Island was bought by the U.S. government in 1808 and was used for what we know as Fort Gibson. This fort was used to protect New York from any future invasions. In the 1890s, the individual states were in charge of regulating immigration into the U.S. This eventually became very difficult with the mass number of immigration happening. Therefore, they created Ellis Island and the station on Ellis Island. Now, all this information is from libertycruise.nyc. Now that we know a little bit about the history of Ellis Island before the immigration station, let's talk about it during the immigration station. The Ellis Island immigration station was officially opened on January 1st, 1892. This island was made fully out of Georgia pine and was welcoming places from all over, including Germany, England, Ireland, and the Scandinavian countries. Now you're probably thinking, what happened once these people got off the boat? Well, once they got off, they'd wait on the docks for hours upon hours until they finally entered into the building. Once they entered into the building, they would go through health inspections, questioning, sometimes trials, and then they would pay the 50-cent fee in order to enter into the U.S. Now you're probably thinking, 50 cents? That's nothing. Well, 50 cents back then is equivalent to $15 nowadays, which is a lot back then. 5 years after the immigration station opened, it burned down in a fire. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but every single report was lost. It took almost 13 years to rebuild this building due to the fact that it had to be fireproof. Once the building opened back up again, it stayed open for a couple of years until World War I hit. Once World War I hit, they closed it due to the fact that enemy aliens were trying to invade the U.S. It then stayed open for a little bit longer after that until 1954. Over 12 million immigrants came into the U.S. through Ellis Island. And this information is all from the libertyellisfoundation.org and classroom.synonym.org. Now, what about the history of Ellis Island after the immigration station? Well, in 1965, President Johnson declared Ellis Island part of the Statue of Liberty National Monument. This monument stayed open from 1976 to 1984, and then in 1984, it went under a $160 million renovation. It then reopened in 1990. And now it is still open to the public to this day and can be viewed. This island was such a big deal before, during, and after the immigration station, living with people so many memories, including Annie Moore, who was the first immigrant on Ellis Island. This place will forever be a piece of history to those who experience Ellis Island. Thank you.